Hey there, welcome back to our Okie Dokie Life. Today we have a few spare minutes and I thought we might be able to get my little raised bed made out of the buckets that I talked about in a previous video. So we kind of already have the concept down.
Then we remembered we needed to record it probably.
So right now we're going to have a frame that has 3 2x4s here, secured with a 2x4 at the end, big enough for the buckets to fit in between the slots, and then we'll put a support beam underneath it as we go.
So follow along.
So the 2 outer boards we're using are full 8-foot boards, but this middle one, to make this more secure, we moved it in. So that's why we're having to mark this edge so we can cut this portion off to make it where this board fits in at the end. I think actually it's going to need to go in. I think the line's actually going to be.
You told me that was where it went.
Well, my...
Good catch though.
Just happened to think that we just leveled it by this first mark, but actually this 2x4 will be butting up to the end, so we have to cut off a 2x4's width. So he's just gonna mark it, that way he can cut it off. And if you're not familiar with these tools, he's using a square.
Speed square.
A speed square, my bad, to draw the line. Okay, so now we have it to where we can place that board in there and we'll just screw it in. Fitting the 2 buckets in there just to make sure that we still have the right spacing for that center board. Step 1 complete. Now let's put some legs on there. We're kind of just, I saw this on Pinterest, so that's where the idea came from. So we're just kind of winging it. What we decided is we're going to make 2-foot legs. That would be 2 feet off the ground. So not a whole lot of bending once the plants are growing. Just be more convenient. And that's what we're doing. And this board should actually give us all 4 legs because we're doing 2-foot legs. Okay, so we were able to secure the 2 legs on this side. We're going to do it again on the other side. Nice. Step 2 done. Now we're going to put a support beam or support brace, basically low enough down here for the bottom of the board. That way we can run a support board underneath the base of the buckets. So we're going to get one to cut in between here to sturdy it up, but something to screw the support boards to. Again, he's starting the screws just so it makes life a little easier when putting the board in there. Want me to hold it there?
Ranger is not amused.
So now we're putting this brace board where he marked it. Okay, now we've got those bracings. Now we are going to run a brace board underneath the middle of where the buckets will be sitting. So we'll grab a couple more 2x4s. See, we measured and marked the middle of where the buckets should be, and that's what we're doing, is putting the support board. No, you're good. Yay! Now we'll flip it over and see if the buckets sit in there like I think they should. So this is what it looks like. Pretty much done. I don't think there's anything else that we'll do to it. So this ended up holding, can hold 14 buckets. I just have 13 because I was anticipating 12 and I just bought an extra bucket. So I think this was a relatively easy project. Of course, we will drill holes in the base of buckets so we can have drainage. We'll just add soil and then I can plant. I think these will be awesome for pepper plants or any of my smaller plants like peppermint, herbs and different things. But yeah, I think this was a relatively super easy project and it took less than 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. And I think it's fairly light. I mean, once you get it, I say help. Fairly light. It is a 2-person carry, but it's pretty neat. And then you can also take the buckets out once you do have them full if you needed to move the holder. And it's not a terribly hard move, I don't think.
No, I think it'll be an easy, I think it's an easy setup.
Yeah. So. And this took what? 7 2x4s, maybe 8.
Maybe, yeah.
Because we had a couple scrap pieces from a different project that we were able to make work for this. So
10 years ago, this would have been a cheap project.
Yeah.
But the way lumber prices are now, it's still relatively cheap. It's just a little pricier than it was 10 years ago.
And you see how that baseboard here that we installed will help support the bucket. So it's not just relying on the lip of the bucket to sit on the 2x4s. So easy peasy. I like it. I'm happy.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be getting another bucket, but then probably our next video, I will be planting in these.
Yep. So thank you for joining us on this project. This is one that she found on what, Pinterest? I'm assuming, yeah. And but it turned out to be a pretty good looking little raised bed. So we hope you learned something from this and maybe try it yourself. If you do, send us pictures, or at least tell us you did it in the comments.
So until next time, see you later.
See ya.